Hello guys, I'm recording this session to cover three Unix utilities that are extremely important for the system administration to manage and troubleshoot the system. We will go over the configuration of these utilities as well as CLI syntax option and one use case of each service. So without further delay, let's go over the list. There are three utilities we are going to cover today. One is Journalctl or Journal daemon. This one is used to display logs, and it has a bunch of options which can we use in this process. The second one is logrotate utilities. This utility is used, or tool is used to is in processing of archive data. Basically, it set the process how the logs are archived when it reaches to the specific size or point in a set schedule and rotate it with the new empty log. So we will go over all the options and configuration of log rotate utility. The third one, the last one is audit D or audit daemon. It is responsible for writing audit records to the disk. Um, we can set those rules with the audit CTL command, and then we can search and display the report with AU report utility. So let's go to the system and run these commands one by one. So let's go over the first one, which is Journalctl. Uh, it has a couple of options, and basically Journalctl extract the logs from a source, which is where log, and the first option is Journalctl. If you run this command, so it runs in a reverse mode uh, from the down up rather than running directly from the up. So it shows all the logs which are captured in that file. And the next one is we can display the number of lines, most recent lines with this command, which is give n, and for example, I give like 10. So these are 10 most recent logs, which are much easier for the kind of display, and rather than to have all those a bunch of lines. That's, then there is another option we can use is of -f, which is for the real-time data. So this is like real-time data, what is going on. As you can see, these lines are nothing is done so far. So it's the same like the last 10 lines of the system. Then there is another option which is -UTC, which display the time with the UTC timestamp. Normally, it takes the time of the system to display the time, but if someone like to have the UTC timestamp, then this option can be used. So next one is um, we can check the list of the how many boots have been done, so we can produce the list of the boots on the system. So you can see all those boots and the timestamp associated with that. And then there is another very useful utility option on this utility is user ID, like what has been done by this user ID. For example, let me check my user ID, which is 0. So let me see what has been done with UID is equal 0. So these are the actions, these are the kind of commands I've been running. So these are the activity on this server um, under this user ID. So then there is a couple of more like uh, service name that can be also uh, displayed. For example, it is uh, for example, I like to see what are the journals logged for this SS server. So that is, I think, invalid option. Uh, Sorry, that is U. So U is SSH and no entries for this service. Then then there is another command which is used is called end of the line, like XE. So it's like the last lines. Uh, and then the very important one is the priority. So how can we check this one for the um, so priority is 3 and X, B options. X is for the provide additional information if possible, and B is for the last boot, since last boot. So this data is for the priority 3. So this now you can see that this is the logs for the priority 3 logged in the system. There is no entry for 2. Let's check for 1 XB. So no entry for 1 and 3. So this is pretty much for the first utility, which is called Journalctl, and the next one is logrotate utilities. This utility is very important and to manage the size of the log files, and uh, it rotates with the new file after the configuration or those setting is met. So I have a couple of uh, there's a use case I have. So these basically all these configurations are um, set up in a etc log rotate.conf file. So you can see that here is the configuration for each log. Basically, all these logs, if you know that the location of log file is var log, where we have all these uh, uh, files are set up. So for example, let me take you there and see. Uh, these are the files where all the logs, system logs, are collected, and then we use different utilities to display these logs. So this file, the one I, I'm talking about, the configuration file, is used to set up the kind of rules or setting. Like for example, there's a there's a user case, like how can we set up logs under one file under that rotates every week, then rotates only the 7 most recent logs. The third one is does not rotate empty logs, delays compression, skip error messages. So how can we set up these configuration for that particular log file? For example, if I say that log file is /var /log /auth.log, so how can we set up these utilities? How can we set up this configuration under this utility? So let me go to this file and set up this configuration. So I'll use the VI editor. You can use whatever, Nano or Nano or VIM or either one, whichever you like. So here, this is basically this is the configuration file where we have a couple of extra uh, extra setting. For example, it's like this frequency, like how many, and the log file size and number of logs. For example, we like to have uh, two settings. Let's talk about two. Number of logs. So we can have this one as the num logs, which is 5, change it to 7. And then we have maximum log file. We can set it up, which is max log file 8 to 35. And then let me go to the correct one. Basically, I opened the audit configuration. Then so vi etc log rotate dot conf. So here we have all those like how we can set it up, and uh, so so uh, let's start making changes in this file. So I'm using VI editor and etc log rotate dot conf file. I think I opened the incorrect one. Yes, vi slash etc log rotate dot conf file. So in this file, if you go further down, you will see this one. So the use case is like asking, like there is a log file, and we have to set it up those configuration. So first, the format will be var log and the file name auth.log, and then we have this brackets, and then all this configuration, like it has to be weekly, daily, monthly. So I'm using weekly, first one. The second one is should rotate 7 every 7 days. So every 7 day should be a new log file, and notify if it is empty. Basically, it is related to um, rotate only the 7 most recent file, does not rotate empty log file. So that is notify if it is empty. Delays compression, so that is as it is it called delay compression. The next one, skip error messages for missing log, and that one is um, missing okay. So the second one is notify if empty, and the delay compression as it is. This is a format of this directive. Uh, delay compress. Uh, and the third one is missing OK, and then close the bracket. So this is the format, and we can save it if we want. I'm not saving it, these changes, so I'll quit that one. And this one is saved just for the node that is under etc logrotate.conf file. So hey guys, the last utility I like to talk about is Auditctl. Basically, that is a utility which is used to audit any changes or any intrusion or any editing in the files which are set in the rule. So we have a couple of rules that we need to employ in the configuration and then follow that rule to search for any suspected changes or anything. So let me go over my system, and basically this is the path where the configuration files are located, and um, there is a we can set up the rule. First thing, we can set up the rule on the CLI which are active for the time since we have the system running, but those rules can be deleted, and to make it permanent we can edit the rules.d directory or audited.conf file audit.rule. So let me go over um, rules.d, and this directory can only be accessed while you are root. Um, so basically it's the same file audit.rules in the directory audit.rules, and here you can see how we first rule delete all. These are the options we can set it in. So for example, if we have a couple of rules and we need to delete all of them, we can use -d with the let me go over one by one on that. So this is my regular account. So here sudo auditctl.l. We do not have any. Actually, I set it up one rule earlier. So let me delete that one. So now we have no rule. So let me set up one rule, and that rule is about one file that I have here, and I want to set a rule that nobody can make a changes, and if it happens I can easily audit those changes and who did it. So let me set up a rule auditctl command. Basically I need sudo audit. First of all, let me check systemctl status audit.services. If it is running, yes, it is running. And now set up a rule auditctl again. Auditctl -w, that is when we set up a rule that is required, and then the file name. So the file name is home sysadmin, and that is test file, and the permission we are giving write read attribute and x execute, and the key is anything. Actually, that's the key we can use to search for the changes. So let me give like test pp, and now the rule is set up, and see how many rules we have. uh, so we can see there's one rule. Now let's restart those services. So okay, now I have restarted the service, and sudo system ctl status auditctl.services, and it is running. So a rule is applied. Let me make a changes, and vi test, and basically I need to open as a sudo vi test, and let me add another line, suspicious line added after the rule applied. So save those changes and see. Now we now we know, we know that we have made those changes, but the system admin has no idea. So if anything happened, how can he find out? He can run the report, which is called au report, or it should be sudo au report, and basically there are a couple of options we can use. The first one is report au, a complete report, and it gives all the reports, and if there is any changes made, uh, you can grip those changes on that file and where someone logged. On the other hand, about those changes, we need to run au search and f and file name, which was set it in the rule home sys admin, and file name was test, and see if there is any changes made. If there is anything that any change, that will be spitted out. So you can see that someone added with the user ID, all the information is there. It spit out all the information, like who did it, what did it, test filter is key, and so these are the changes which are made. But we have another option, which is k, and that should be the key which was set it up. Let me see, what was that. Sudo audit ctl -l, so test pp. So au report, or sudo au report, actually sudo au report, and -k and test pp. So au report k and test pp. Sorry, au search, not report, and k and test pp. So here, error opening sudo au search k and test pp. So au search, search, -k and test pp, permission denied, sudo au search k and test pp. So here you go. You can see those changes are made here. Basically, this system is kind of little weird when we run the command, but um, you can see these changes are made with these file user ID 1. Basically, there is another grep use grep UID. That length is missing. Oh god. Grep 2 and UID. So basically we are gripping two lines before the user ID, or see what are the so you can see two lines above that is basically it could be, you can grip with A2 after that, but user ID is 0, the root because I'm using that one, and the test P um, because I use user ID 1000. What is my ID? My user ID is 1000, so you can see that changes are made under user ID 1000, and so same thing we can do with a couple of other options, and let me go to that. For example, we set up a rule sudo and auditctl w etc password, so anything in that and then permission wrax and k is password. So this rule is applied. Let me see how many. So now we have two rules applied, and run this systemctl again, and systemctl is 1821, and start this service. It's a system, and now create one user, users sudo user add hacker 11111, and check if that hacker is 111, and so get end password and hacker 111. Yep, it is created. User ID 10118 and group ID is also 1018. So let's check if AU search has anything. You can see that there's some changes made. A file etc password sudo au search f etc password. Okay, here you go. Those changes, a lot of changes are made, and you can see this user ID, and basically so far it is going to the previous one, but grep password, the one we are just created, but we can also pick up this one with the key. Okay, here you go. these are the changes which are made in the file. There's another way we can do it with the key. So key is password. So this is the utility. Basically, it collects the data on the applied rule, and then those are set up in the environment. So then we can use these commands to search for any changes which are made. So you can download this service with whatever the command is get install, audited or whatever, because every system has its own configuration. So the options following are options flag that are mostly used are -w is for the rule edit or the rule setup. K is a key, and then we use P as -P for the permission, and then we can run this AU report with -F and the path on the file. If there is any changes made, we can use -key for the key and pick up the file. This is all I have on this one, and so thanks very much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.